Looks at Headmaster Ganathus and offers a sort of impotent shrug. I am unsure, Headmaster Ganathus. I spent some time there to study the effects. Certainly there were numerous peculiarities abounded. My companions could testify, and you'll find this interesting as well, Headmaster. There was some sort of necrotic fungal spores that inhabited the entire domain that latched onto Arenoss in particular during our investigations there and seemed to grow and fester on him. In another such instance, they affected Erevan, Roldar, as well as Alvyn. Very minute and difficult to spot, but some sort of festering disease, which perhaps is a means by which this failed lich gains control of people. Certainly you would also know that a lich is very powerful to even attempt the ritual, and I would dare say be certainly beyond my means to deal with. I have created wards by which contact can be sealed from it, so that it is very difficult to reach where his essence currently resides, but as you are also familiar with Malfechnikor to Devour, any determined individual, given the time and resources, could certainly make his way through. It is of my opinion that, at the least, I was going to go to Magnamar and consult some of the learned individuals there. Maybe they would have the resources or the know-how required to, I don't know, destroy the phylactery, because it's not within my means.
The headmaster nods. I see. Well, it seems like a prudent course of action then. If Vorl is as powerful as this indicates, I would imagine, like you, Master Saloro, that his spirit would be quite difficult to exercise. He looks around the council chamber. I would propose that we issue an official warning to the citizens of Sandpoint and the farmers of the hinterlands to steer clear of any of the old Foxglove properties. As long as this evil presence exists, it seems to be folly to try to approach it, or for that matter, work the land. Any farmers should be retreated north. That is my suggestion. The council seems to take this in and mull this over, and most of them seems to nod.
There is also the matter of Aldern Foxglove, who I believe is the grandson of Vorel, who had, and by the note that I passed there to Headmaster Gandalthus, I assume he could confirm this as well, especially since Sage Quink has reviewed it, had apparently been acting in accord at the behest of not only his grandfather, but some sort of agent as well, the Mistress of the Seven. Vorel, it was rather, I'm not quite sure what Aldern was doing. Certainly there were rather curious specimens and experiments to be found there, and of course he is trying to enact the Sihedron ritual, whatever that may be. But a rather curious discovery was noted when we confronted Aldern, and I dare say had defeated him, and we were going to put him to death when his... and I apologize, especially given the table here, his skin sloughed off of him and melted into a pool of slime and ichor, unto which a rather grotesque abomination, necrotic in nature, manifested itself. Some sort of alternate identity that had resided just beneath the surface that we actually encountered whenever we visited Habe's sanatorium to deal with that one remaining survivor of a murder scene. As the sheriff very well knows, it's the Skinsaw man. It called itself, and apparently it was to carry out the whim of this mistress and the completion of the ritual for some master, the likes of whom I cannot divine, whether it be mortal or are demonic in nature, like Malfeshnikor.
The council seems to take this in. The mayor nods. I see. It seems to me then that you have indeed saved this town from quite the death toll. If what you are saying is correct, and I have no reason to doubt it. She looks around. Yes, I am. Again, I wish to thank the Vanguard for this. I have been told by Lady Ameko here that the Vanguard plans to perhaps leave Sandpoint in the near future.
Various roads of investigation lead to Magnamar, both from the Mistress of the Seven as well as the curious crate that my companions said contained the seals of having been shipped from Magnamar, yet containing those rather vile rats which we also saw at the manor. And Saloro looks back to Erevan.
We shall be continuing, as Saloro said, our investigation to Magnamar, as that is our best lead on it's our best current lead on to get additional information about what has happened here.
Sheriff, did you ever find out who brought the crate into the camp?
The sheriff shakes his head. No. There was a lot of crates. Some of them bought from the local markets here in Sandpoint. Some of them shipped directly from Magnamar, bought by the city. It was impossible to find out exactly who shipped what crate. They were simply bought at the markets.
All right.
The mayor nods. Well, it seems to me that yes, Magnamar might indeed be the place to hold the answers to this mystery that seems to be before us.
It is also the best place for us to obtain the resources required to continue our search, because as you may very well know, we're an adventuring company, and the work we undertake is quite perilous, and not without severe expenditures and investitures on our part.
Alvyn nods quite vigorously.
The mayor nods. Yes, on that part, I have been in discussion with the council. I have also been in negotiations with the nobles of the town, and particularly Lady Ameko here has been quite insistent that the town reward you handsomely for what you have done. The townspeople and the nobles, as well as the church, have all come together to put forward a reward on Sandpoint's behalf. I trust it shall be adequate for the risk and the heroics you have undertaken for the town. And she motions to Sheriff Hemlock, who promptly steps out the back, and then soon comes back with a large chest in his arms. And he says slowly and very it seems very heavy as he sort of moves it into the middle and sets it down on the floor in front of Erevan and takes a step back. The mayor nods. Yes, inside this chest you will find a handsome sum of gold. We have decided to reward the Spiral Vanguard 5,000 gold pieces for their work.
On the behalf of both me, my companions, and just the Vanguard as a whole, we thank both you, the mayor, the council, and the nobles for helping fund this and give us security for all the work we have done. Giving a bow.
She nods. You are local heroes and have no doubt saved our town from certain disaster at least twice, and who knows how many more times. She smiles. You will always be welcome here in Sandpoint, and we will in time find a way to honor the deeds you have done here. I have personally called for a sculpture to make a small commemoratory statue over your heroics, so that Sandpoint never forgets the Spiral Vanguard and the things you have done for us.
That is a great honor. We thank you. But please remember to keep the town safe as your top priority.
She nods. Of course. That is, as always, my utmost priority here. And perhaps if the Vanguard have... if the roads again take the Vanguard to Sandpoint, she smiles, mayhap we will employ your services again. Although I sincerely hope we will not have any need to. Since every time the Vanguard is concerned, it seems the town is threatened by certain destruction.
I very much hope business does not take me back to Sandpoint. And the next time I visit will be for pleasure reasons over work.
She nods and smiles. I hope so too. Is there anything the Vanguard would ask of the council or the town before you leave?
Everyone's just like looking around to each person, seeing if anyone's got anything they want to say.
Roldar's wondering why he wasn't allowed to drink the goblet anymore, so he's kind of like looking at Erevan and like shaking the goblet at him.
You know, it's just I kind of give like a gesture, just like no, Roldar.
Saloro
believe-
nods at Roldar.
I give a,
Roldar waves
I give
over one of the waitress, the servers, just like, and as they're handing the bottle, he just grabs the bottle and has that instead.
As the servers gets close, they get a very steely glare from Ameko and quickly backs away.
Roldar is very confused at this. He's like, he insistently waves them over more and more.
Mayor, esteemed council, I thank all of you for being here, and I believe we have no more we wish to say or to ask.
So Saloro looks down at the headmaster and the sage, like, I don't suppose you two have any better ideas on how to deal with the Voral Foxglove. I've created some preliminary wards, but both of you know those are by no means perfect. I'm not really sure how to handle it. It would take a lot of long-term research that I am currently unable to perform. Particularly the stained glass windows I could not destroy could easily lead another necromancer on the path to learning lichdom as well.
The headmaster nods. It is a problem. It seems to me that if it is as you say, Master Saloro, that more resources would be needed to try to exercise this spirit. But as far as I know, no spirit is so powerful that to be beyond the actual act of exercising. We just need to be careful and apply rigorous research.
Would there be a personal recommendation or discourse you'd like to have sent on your behalf as well as the behalf of the council to Sandpoint, by which I could give to someone to inform them of the severity of the situation?
Headmaster Ganithus sort of quickly looks at the council, and they all seem to... a brief discussion ensues between the council members, and then they sort of turn back to Saloro and says that, yes, says Master Ganithus, I will compose a letter, and if you would be so kind to deliver one copy of it to the Academy, and at this Brodart Quink sort of lets out a sharp snort in his cups. And the other letter, if you would deliver it to the Cathedral of Magnamar. That would help us immensely, I believe, to require the resources and study needed.
Saloro nods. I will see it done. It's better to have the recommendations come from the town of Sandpoint itself rather than a group of ragtag adventurers who've never been in the city before.
Gnome smiles. Indeed, you shall have the letters first thing in the morning.
Saloro nods. Looks back to Erevan, shrugs.
Unless anyone else has anything to add, I believe the Spiral Vanguard is complete now.
The mayor nods, and she once again, rises from her chair, and she grabs her goblet and sort of raises it to everyone on the table. Well then, a toast, dear friends, to the Spiral Vanguard and to the heroics as they saved the town of Sandpoint yet again. And she smiles. May you always find good fortune and adventure.
Saloro raises his glass to commemorate the toast thing.
Erevan does this, but he has a worried glare looking at Roldar about this.
Roldar has lost attention and is actually yelling at one of the servers.
Hey, why are you not filling my goblet? Just give me the bottle. Just give me the bottle.
Saloro conspiratorially leans over towards the headmaster and whispers, I'm not sure who the bigger lush is here, Brodart Quink or Roldar Duke.
Oh, the headmaster snorts and almost like throws the wine in his mouth over the table. But he tries his best to compose himself. And sort of, a fierce battle. He does not laugh out loud, but Saloro can almost hear a few ribs sort of crack under the strain as the headmaster fights for dear life.
Saloro leans away and resumes his standard posture.
Ah, yes. And as such, the toast is given. With that, the Spiral Vanguard heads out from Sandpoint towards Magnamar.
Weren't we gonna do that in the morning?
Well, I'm fast forwarding.
Alright.
Well, before that fast forward completes, Erevan will be handing everyone a nice sum of gold. You four shall be getting 1,100 gold each. Yes, there's some extra money there than what was in the chest.
Deduction you were going to take out of Alvin's paycheck.
Technically, actually, that was something I did say, so Alvyn has 10 gold less.
Evan is not happy.
I've got the least, so you can't say anything. You broke a window, you have to pay for it.
Well, overall, how does Alvin feel about the compensation of 1,000 gold pieces plus the items
90.
he could salvage? Yes.
1,000 gold pieces seems, well, just barely adequate, but he
1,000
did
gold
hope to
pieces.
get away without paying for the window.
Well, technically you did, but you don't know that. It came out of your paycheck, but you didn't know.
Yeah, maybe I got ripped off by Erevan.
Ripped off. It came out of my money.
All right.
Yeah, it seems, barely enough. It just adequately covers it, I guess.
Exactly. And there's apparently horses all over town.
Oh, we're riding away.
You are indeed. Yes.
I'm guarding web. Dun, dun, dun. Where am I?
As the
I'm
investigation.
still in the dark. I'm still in the blackness.
Why are you in the blackness?
You left me in the background.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Where have you lost yourself?
I just used the map
horse.
explorer and it said I'm in the blackness.
See. Ah, Magnamar, the jewel of southwestern Varesia. Some would argue the jewel of all of it.
Yes, Magnamar, the city of monuments
For the City of Wonders.
and city of wonders. And yeah, as Magnamar, a couple of days later, slowly creep into the view of the Spiral Vanguard, it is a quite magnificent city. Enormous monuments and enormous ruins from the ancient Thessalonian Empire seem, dot the land here. The most infamous one being the enormous bridge, ruined bridge that sticks out from the city. And yeah, what adventures, what horrors might wait the Spiral Vanguard in the City of Wonders and Monuments? We will have to actually find out in the next season.
So, Roldar,
Quiet.
Toothy!
Oh, Toothy.
Son of Toothy.
Roldar, did you manage to visit her again one last time before we left?
Well, when you say that, yes,
You did. What happened?
I may have broke the front door knocking on it.
Oh, well, again another measure of your incredible strength.
There was a guy. He came down, started asking what the hell's going on, and I tried to tell him I was here for the woman, and he was going, "Oh God, it's you. He's back." And I just said, "I'm not here for him. I'm here for the woman." And then he started screaming and yelling for her to lock herself in the cupboard again. And I just said, I just want to see her to pass on my good words to her, since she's rather attractive. And he went purple. It was disgusting. His face just went from red to purple.
Wait. Lock herself in the cupboard again? She's an abuse victim, Roldar. Tell me you did something.
Well, I punched the guy in the face. I needed to get the purple off somehow. And, he kind of lay on the floor for a while, making loud noises. So, my memory's a bit hazy here. Also, could you maybe tone your voice down? It's very, very loud. Why does it hurt so much? Anyway, and then I went up the stairs, and I heard this sobbing, and I thought, okay, she's in distress. So I walked up, I punched the cupboard, and it blew apart. And there she was. I went, "You're safe now. No one's here to hurt you." And she fainted.
Obviously, in the face of such incredible strength, what more could she do?
So I put her in the local, I carried her to the guardhouse, told them of the situation, and left with good heart. I also left
Roldar brings out his hand.
10 gold pieces to pay for door damages and cupboard.
Oh. I think you handled that situation very well, Roldar.
My head disagrees. It seems what I done really made it painful.
Well, Roldar, that was because, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you drank wine at the council meeting.
I did what?
You drank wine. I think Ameka was trying to tell you that. That was wine. You had a lot of it. Almost as much as Brodot did.
Oh, fuck.
notice it was purple.
Now that you know what wine tastes like, you can make sure you never drink it again.
But it wasn't purple like the other times. It was actually quite clear. I didn't expect that.
Roldar, wine can come in all sorts of varieties, flavors, and colors.
Oh, fuck.
Not all wine is purple.
Oh, they just make the world a lot more challenging and difficult, don't they?
Don't worry,
Indeed.
Roldar. You're strong. You can take it.
It doesn't feel like it. Is this what they call one of those overhangs?
No, that's like a roof awning that you stand under to protect you from the rain, Roldar.
Why the hell would they call it that? I don't feel like a bloody roof. If anything, I feel like I'm in the basement with a house on top of my head.
Maybe you should ask Arenoss. Arenoss loves to drink wine.
That's a good point. Maybe I'll ask him. Arenoss!
What?
Oh god, that hurt my head. Why do they call it an overhang?
What's an overhang?
Sorry, he doesn't even fucking know. I see why you're pissed at him all the time.
Sorry, it's even worse that he wasn't even paying attention. At least you pay attention, Roldar.
You've got a point.
And with that, I will bring this to a close.
So perfect.
So
all right.
He doesn't even know what an overhang is.
Indeed.
God damn it, Griff. You're on
Did you
fire.
like that?
You were on fire today.
Yes, just ripping it up. It was excellent.
I actually.
I'm crying literally.
Yeah, I did that lots of times.
There were two moments where you fucking broke me. There was, of course, whenever you brought that shit up with a Mako, and I'm like, oh, and like my eyes got wide. I imagine like the deer in headlights situation. I'm like, oh god, none of this is going to end well.
I knew it was gonna happen as soon as you told me. I went, "Oh no! Why did you have to say that?" No. And that's why I was just like, okay, you gotta give me a minute here because I know what's gonna happen.
The second situation, of course, ended up being the outburst in the council room. I mean, even though Jonas did say that there was wine available, water available, you end up drinking the wine anyway, and then I told you to be brave and like stand up for yourself. I'm not gonna start talking yet. I'm just gonna look at Erevan. I'm gonna give Roldar the chance.
That was good.
I accidentally unplugged my headphones at that point.
Accidentally on purpose?
No accident. I just threw my arms aside and I unplugged my headphones.
That was so awesome. You can trust Saloro. And I'm like, oh, fuck me.
That's why it's like when you did it, I was like, you know what? I know what Roldar would do here. He'll just start talking about this story of what happened for the last few days.
Yeah, it was after you told Amika that she was very attractive that I flipped my shit.
Just to say, if Roldar kept going, Erevan, because he already knows enough in that room, he was so close to punching Roldar in the back of the head.
He was not the only one close to punching Roldar, let's tell you.
Mako Kaijitsu might have done it there for sure.
Yeah.
I just like to imagine these horrified looks on the faces.
Everyone's like, like eyes wide as saucers. Like, what are you doing?
Brodo doesn't care because he's like, yeah, I knew he was thick-headed. This wine's delicious. Headmaster's slowly looking towards Saloro like, what the fuck? The sheriff is frowning on everything, you know. The mayor is confused.
Yep.
Father
actually.
Xanthus is confused too, and Ameko's like, "Oh no, you did not."
And Ron's like, what?
Well, Erevan wants to beat Roldar to death there, but